The primary reason for joining Cashfree was like working for a startup in India. I had worked at a bigger organization before, and I was kind of like wanting to see a new challenge. And at the same time, like Fintech was really growing in India. So yeah, back then when I joined in 2018, there was no regulation as such. So our view was in terms of, while we understood like importance of customer and business trust, there were no specific regulations or guidelines or policy frameworks to guide us. Now with these new guidelines and policy frameworks that exist, I think we have a much more well-defined scope and path. And so we really know what we have to do, what we don't have to do, and what the regulator wants, how the regulator sees many of these things. Because as the industry has evolved, the outlook of the regulator has also evolved, right? And that has been like a really big learning for me. I think one of the most important learnings for me around mentorship and leadership has been how do we promote like young talent and how do we mentor them is very critical. And the way we do that at Cashfree is more about letting people own like large similar areas and go deep into those, right? So we don't want to like pigeonhole people into one specific thing, but let them go deep into a problem, and once they solve it, maybe they can just like explore other areas as well. How we used to build products in 2018-19 versus how we build now is very different. In 2024, like if you're like a really big organization, you have to have rituals, you have to have the cultural practices to be able to build products right way, right? This would include having like strongly promoting certain specific things. So example, at Cashfree, at least like we promote writing is very important to our company's culture, right? So everything that we are kind of shipping has to be written down really well, has to be analyzed from different angles, and then people can kind of like comment on it or add their own views. But the most important thing is that you write and share with people. Customer centricity has been core to our success right from day zero. This is an extremely competitive market. The only ways that we can differentiate is being very customer obsessed. It shows up at a lot of places. It shows up in our support system. It shows up in how we build products. The way that we in our team promote customer centricity is by really giving a free hand to a lot of people to just directly talk to our users, be it customers who are paying on Cashfree or businesses whom we support. So there is not really a lot of like walls. So anybody is kind of free to like check on conversations that happen between like product managers and those customers. We document many of those and we share those freely across the team. So that's how we kind of try to reduce the distance between our product managers or our Cashfree team versus the end user. As Cashfree has grown, I have also grown personally. I have seen a lot of people come in, right? A lot of people like build a lot of awesome stuff at Cashfree and seen them grow. I think for me personally, my growth has really been in terms of leadership, like how I value and how I see people, right? Like I think when I joined as an individual contributor back in 2018, I used to think a lot of things depended just on me, and I would kind of like end up doing a lot of things myself. Now I think it's a lot more depending on my team, getting them to execute, getting them to think the way that I or the company would want to think and build products for the org. So I think that has been the largest personal growth for me. When I had joined Cashfree, I was like really young. And now when I see that, or that aspect of when I see people join Cashfree and bring that enthusiasm, that kind of fills me really like warmly, because I see that like they carry the same values and the expectations and hope that I had when I joined Cashfree.